Well, first of all, congratulations. And
Thank you.
I mean, Freddy Krueger, one of the most iconic horror characters in the world. Even if you don't watch horror films, everybody knows who he is. Were you a little bit, taken back going, oh my God, what should I take this on?
I'll tell you, there's just the notion of playing such an iconic character, especially an iconic character that's really owned by another actor, and rightfully so. The guy did it brilliantly. Yeah, it's very daunting, but at the same time, I think what really kind of helped me to play the decision, or to make that decision, it was kind of easy because it was way more exciting, just the notion of like, but it's Freddy Krueger. Yeah, how can you not play Freddy Krueger? So the excitement overweighed the trepidation.
Were you a horror fan? Did this play into your growing up watching the original films?
A little bit. I mean, I'm not a big horror fan. When I was a kid, I did see this movie in the theater because the trailer drew me there. I love the notion. I'm a sci-fi fan, and horror can be great. So this one kind of got me on the supernatural side. The fact that this guy can get into your dreams and stuff like that. So I really did kind of get a kick out of it in the theater. At that time, like thinking back of what I was a fan of, I do remember, I think Alien is probably my all-time favorite horror film because it's a little bit more sophisticated, really had some depth, some great characters. But of this genre, man, I got a huge kick out of Sam Raimi and his Evil Dead series. That one it was just clever, directed so well. It was off the hook. Yeah. But of this genre, or the subgenre dealing with the Michael Myers and the Jason Voorhees and Freddy was always by far the most interesting, the most intriguing, and I think the most fun to giggle at while he's hunting you down to slash you with his blades.
Yeah, now aside from the makeup, which we'll talk about in 1 second, where do you even begin, Jackie, to get into the head of this guy? And also, this Freddy is a teeny bit different, a little bit, you've made him your own. He's pissed. He's pissed off, this guy, Where do you start?
Where I started was, I started kind of delving into the world of serial killers. And I started to do the work of an actor, and I kind of keyed into Ed Kemper. I can't remember his last name. It's Kemper. And so I'm kind of doing that sickening work, which, by the way, is not fun when you're trying to figure out why, how does this brain get broken? What is it in this brain, right? So I'm doing this work, and oh, look, they made a movie on him. I clicked on it, went to YouTube, and I watched the trailer. It was a slasher movie, and it pissed me off. And I suddenly realized, okay, wait a second, I'm going down the wrong road. I'm playing a boogeyman. I'm playing a mythological boogeyman, the main character in a campfire story, and that's what I embraced. I mean, I still wanted to, ground him, in a certain kind of way, but man, it was that's what I needed to embrace. Man, I played a monster. This is a horror movie, This is Nightmare on Elm Street, and that's what the job was.
Yeah, and talk about torture. Yes, he tortures people, but I don't think anybody was tortured more than you, having to sit through that makeup process.
I came to that realization working on the movie. It hit me like a ton of bricks, saying, how ironic. All those years of Nightmare on Elm Street, and Robert Englund was the guy truly being tortured the most.
What was that like for you to sit in that chair? What, 4 hours a day?
It was brutal, 3.5 hours. It started at 6 hours, and they were still working on creative decisions. And once they got all that worked out, 3.5 hours in makeup, and it would take an hour just to get out. And that's not including any work on the set.
What was your first reaction when you saw yourself made up like that?
It was pretty bizarre. The next day, Andrew, the designer, showed me a picture because he had took some pictures after we had it all finished. And so I had my glasses on and I could really see very clearly what we were doing. And when I saw it, it made it all worth it. Because I'm telling you, it's like, I can't imagine sitting in that chair if I hated that makeup. So knowing that, oh my gosh, look what you guys are doing, this is amazing work, it really made it, a lot easier to sit in that chair knowing that it looked so darn good.
Was it important for you to keep away from the rest of the cast just because of the relationship, or, because I was talking to the kids, the other cast members, and they were like, he's such a nice guy. It was so hard to pretend that he was going to kill us, or, what was it like for you in your process, or did that matter, to keep away from them?
Not so much. I think at first Sam was trying to keep me away from, the young adult actors so that they'd kind of, be able to could be kind of scared by that visage, on film, and that worked for a little bit. I think the kids were a little disarmed around me for about 4 or 5 days, and then I think they were just kind of feeling sorry for Jackie underneath all of that makeup,
And let's talk about the glove. I mean, you have to be careful with that thing.
You really do.
What was it like putting it on, and were there hopefully not any major mishaps?
It would take them a couple minutes to get on. So that meant that it had to stay on a long time, because it wasn't just like a snap, pull off, which would be neat if we do another one. They should design it that way. But so this was stuck on for quite some time, and it became second nature. I would also take it home and kind of wear it around the house. I'd practice with it and also wear it while I was just doing normal things, just to get it to where I'm not thinking about the glove. It's just second nature. I'd rehearse with it and kind of play with it. So luckily there were no mishaps, with the exception of one, and I wasn't even aware of it at the time. Kyle pointed it out in WonderCon. Evidently, when he kind of got a little sliced by it in one scene where I kind of went across his chest. I guess a finger came undone, and sorry about that, Kyle.
But he's okay.
Yeah, he's
and look,
fine.
and he's got Johnny Depp to live up to, too.
Yeah.
The pressure's on him.
The pressure's on, yeah, it's all Kyle.
So wearing it at home, were you chopping up salad?
Yeah, that would have been good. Not just eating with it.
Now, let's talk about the voice, because I was talking to Sam, and one thing about Freddy Krueger, he really is one of the only horror guys that has to speak, right?
Yeah.
So how did you prepare for that? What were you thinking, to get that voice down?
We tried a kind of a bunch of different things and just kind of landed where it did, and he's a monster, so it's just kind of me, kind of grumbly. We just tried some different things. That seemed to be the thing that was most effective.
Yeah. And also the one thing with horror films, I think why people are scared the most of him is because he invades our dreams. Can you just discuss that theory? Because who doesn't wake up in a cold sweat and then look around the room and go, oh my God, Have you ever been in that kind of situation where you're freaked so much by your dream?
Not really. I'm pretty good at when I come out of some sort of crazy dream, I'm pretty good at getting a handle on that was a dream. I remembered a dream though when we were talking about him in the other room that when Kyle was talking about his dream. This was kind of more like an out-of-body dream. I remember I was in New York. This is a long time ago. I'm about 22 or something. And I was married at the time. We're sleeping. I'm lying next to my wife, and I could swear that I felt as though my body raised up about a foot and was just hovering there. And it was so odd and alarming, and it felt so strange that I wanted her to wake me up. So I kept trying to find my voice. Wake me up, and I think I did start to kind of, right? I was mumbling, and she finally woke me up. And to this day, I don't know if that was just a bizarre dream or if I was floating above the bed a foot.
Well, hopefully you didn't smoke anything before that night. Just very quickly, so what's it like to actually see this poster, go down Hollywood Boulevard or wherever you're driving, see yourself, and know that that's you under that makeup?
It's bizarre. It's kind of like I know it's me, but at the same time, it's kind of like someone else. So it's bizarre. I will tell you this, though. Every now and then, it's like when I completely shave everything off, and I've walked past a reflective surface, and it through my peripheral, thought I saw Freddy. So I had to do it. No, it's me. Okay, good. That's messed up, isn't it?
It's messed up, but it's great. Like I say, Jackie, you have done a spectacular job, and bravo to you, because that's pretty brave to take something like this on.
Well, thank you so much.
You've done a great job.
Appreciate it.
Great talking to you. Thank you.
You too.